What's going on? This is another car video. I haven't done a car video in a while. I normally go live when I do videos because the obvious editing portions and all of that type of stuff you got to do. With the quality video. But anyway, nonetheless, I just wanted to talk about what most people are, struggling with, and then that's financial problems. Okay. This video is kind of inspired by someone that I pretty much follow on Instagram. This lady is she's a real estate investor. She's a high level real estate investor. What I mean by high level is she has multiple properties. She has a portfolio of properties. But one of the things that I like about her, not only the fact that she's, extremely beautiful, but the other thing is that she's honest like me. I'm not like most other YouTubers or people on social media. I don't really like to lie to people. I'd rather not say nothing than to just lie to people that listen to me, or take out time in their life to listen to what I have to say. I'd rather just not say nothing than to just be coming online, lying to you, putting on some type of front, putting on some type of show that's not true. So what she was talking about was some of the things that she's dealing with. She's dealing with some financial problems. I don't know necessarily in detail what those are, but she was basically saying that she had to kind of go back to basically like really just going back to the basics. Like she grew up going to church. She started back going to church. She also said she had an issue with dealing with the roles. Okay, you most likely know what that is. Okay, women, they absolutely, that's the raving thing for a lot of women, using the roles as a proxy boyfriend. If I had to put my dating consultant or hat on or whatever, out of all of the things that I would tell women not to do or try to stop doing, and that's basically using sex toys and masturbating. Because this is the thing about masturbating, and I ain't gonna lie. I mean, as a man, I ain't gonna lie to you and say that I haven't struggled with that myself. But this is what masturbation does for both men and women, really. But it really harms women, because women don't really have a lot of time. And one of the things that it does for women is it puts them in a situation to where they don't need men. Okay, and it's the same thing for men. You're supposed to be natural. Okay, this is the natural thing, the natural order of things as far as sexual drive, or let's just say sex drive. You supposed to be so horny that you damn near like a wolf on the prowl. And that sexual drive actually helps you go out and get women as a man. And as a woman, you supposed to be so vulnerable that if a man touch you, you gonna start leaking on yourself because you so goddamn horny. And a lot of times women don't want to be that. They don't want to walk around that vulnerable, because they liable to damn near have sex with any guy that meets them. But here's the thing. and this is, I ain't necessarily Christian or anything like that. But in the Bible, it's better, because I've definitely read the Bible, and I will continue to read it, as well as other books, as well as the Quran. But the thing is that masturbation is worse than fornication. Okay, it is better. They say in the Bible, it's better to lay down with a basically a prostitute than to waste your seed on the floor. Okay, and there's stories of men that did that laid their seed on the floor, and then they basically were basically killed because of that, or basically cursed, or whatever the case may be. But that's how you supposed to be as a man. You supposed to be so it's a lot of power in that sexual drive. Even I was playing a video of Napoleon Hill, and he was the old square ass white man in the 1950s. He was talking about sexual drive and basically sexual transmutation in the 1950s. A square ass nerdy ass white dude in the 1950s was talking about sex drive and sex and so on and so forth. So it ain't nothing new. And the thing is that basically your drive as a man, that drive gives you a boost to work harder, to work longer hours, to put in more work, to have more mental focus and fortitude, to think better, because when you wanking off, first of all, a lot of times when you wanking off or whatever, it's a different experience than if you just have sex with a woman. I know for a fact, this I know I'm not the only person. I've had, and this is why I know that I probably could have at least one or more than one wife or whatever. I've had sex, and right after sex, I'm like, damn. And I'm talking about I bust, and I got energy to go another round or two, and I know I can, go right to someone else. And there's some women that they know their man's sex drive, and they will allow their man to go and get another woman or have another woman because they know they can't really satisfy that man. He's got a higher sex drive than the average guy or whatever. Now here's the thing. That's how you really supposed to be. You are supposed to be so much on the prowl, pinned up with sexual energy that drive gets you to go out and get a fucking partner. I'm talking about you on the hunt. You damn near like a ready to damn near pounce on a woman. And I know, I mean, I'm not saying that's what you gonna do or that's what you should do, but that's that drive. That drive to mate is something that is just natural, and it's something that God gave you to draw in someone else. But if you wanking off by yourself, basically you done, whatever fine chick that you think you done slept with last night, or a chick you already had sex with that you ain't having sex with now, obviously, because you ain't, obviously you would be with somebody else if you was. Whoever you was thinking about, you could have been, thinking about shit, you was with Beyonce's cousin last night, and you wasn't with her. But in your mind, the mind just knows what it thinks, however retarded it is. Your mind just, you don't bust a nut thinking about one of Beyonce's cousins, okay? And then you wake up the next day, you're refreshed, you just, probably a little bit tired. And you go out in the world And your mind like, damn, you got Beyonce's cousin back at home, knowing damn well it was your right hand, or you was humping the, something, or using some, they got men toys and stuff too, that sex dolls and stuff. Your mind don't know nothing, but you satisfied. You got one of Beyonce's cousins. You's good, but you really not good. And it's the same thing for women. You're using that roles. You been with, whoever, movie star, actor, entertainer, whoever an ex-boyfriend you ain't with no more. Whoever you think about in your mind, that's what you thinking. Oh, I got this person to be with when I get back home. I'm satisfied. So that's why you got a lot of people walking around like they're satisfied, and they're really not satisfied. They're just getting off on themselves. They fucking themselves. Like, when somebody tell you to go fuck yourself, you're like, oh, okay, that ain't nothing but what I'm already doing for a lot of people. And it's like, yeah, a lot of people are out here fucking themselves. That's why it's no way that the divorce rate, the amount of people that's single, not, whatever. All of this is because a lot of people are fucking themselves. Literally. They going to, get off. They got all kind of ways to get off now that, people in their mind, they satisfied, but they not really satisfied. The mind plays tricks on you when you thinking you done already, loaded off, bust the load off. Your brain like, oh, I'm satisfied. When you really know you're not satisfied, you really don't want to be doing that, but it becomes something that's your go-to. And then next thing you know, there's your drive. Your mind is like, oh, I'm satisfied. So it's no need for me to go out and date. No need for me to go out and look for somebody because I'm satisfied. And that's not true. But when it comes to the money thing, when it comes to, capital and stuff like that, that's very frustrating. You can get a woman any day. You can get a woman tonight, depending on where you live. You live near a big city, man, you could go hit the town. You could get about 10, 20 numbers. Out of them 10, 20 numbers, you might get 1, 2, maybe 3 or more women that's gonna take you serious. You might, go have something to go with that. With money, with a lack of thereof, it's harder to deal with that. That is like most people, it's a long-term strategy to deal with that issue. And I'm dealing with that issue. I have gotten out of debt. However I gotten out of debt, if you followed me for a while, you already know how I got out of debt. Very unconventional. Same way damn near I got in debt, as far as borrowing, money from the government or whatever, or a government-backed student loan, okay? Because I paid everything else off or whatever. Got all of that other stuff taken care of, but what I was left with was a government, federal backed student loan that basically the federal government wiped out. Now, even with not being in debt, even with owning a house that I could probably put on the market as is right now, probably can get a little less than $100,000 for it. A little less than probably somewhere around $75,000 a year. I mean, or just $75,000 cash. If it's fixed up, I can probably get a little bit more than that. Now, that ain't a lot of money. Okay, what I mean is, in a grand scheme of things, as far as millions, 10 millions, hundreds of millions, billion-dollar type money. I've been, really thinking about, how this wealth distribution is, and how less of, people are in that 1% category. You know, 1%ers is like, you know, millionaires or above, you know, or at least $500,000. You'll be in like the 1%, because there's not that many people that's making that type of money. Most people are just kind of, the average person makes about $50,000 to $60,000 a year, anywhere between the range of $40,000 to $60,000 a year, and that's for a family, okay, a household. So when it comes to, you know, $500,000, millions of dollars, most people don't have nowhere near that. Most people don't earn near that. Most people don't even have that liquid, of course, as well, because it's another thing to earn stuff, and it's another thing to actually have that liquid. And what I find is, and what I struggle with, just like most people, is, yeah, I'm doing great, and I'm very, very grateful for that. But I know I got a long, frustrating road to go that I continue to you know, try to do what I can to do, you know, to get there. And one of the things that I was, you know, thinking about today is what your reality is, whether you like it or not, is either someone's nightmare or actually someone's dream. Your reality, whatever your current reality is, whether you like it or not, is someone's dream and someone's nightmare. I mean, I'm pretty sure, you know, most people don't want to go through all this stuff I've been through, and definitely even going through the stuff I'm going through now. But it's some people that they would love to have a house, you know, halfway fixed up, you know, not fully completed, but halfway fixed up, and ain't got a mortgage attached to it. They would absolutely love that. But some people, like, nah, I'm straight. You know, I don't want to have to deal with all this shit. I don't want to, you know, deal with, you know, all of this other stuff and all this, you know, that's not what they want to deal with. You know, but it goes into a situation where, you know, I didn't have to deal with this either. I could have been just like everybody else. I could have been a renter, renting from someone else, living in some type of luxury type of environment. I made enough money, I always made enough money where, you know, that, you know, basically I could have paid somebody else rent or pay someone's mortgage and basically had, you know, a nice place to live that's already fixed up. I could pay a mortgage, you know. Qualifying for one is another thing, but I could definitely pay for one. You got a lot of people out here that their reality is they pay more in rent than they would even pay for a mortgage. Like if they got a mortgage, their mortgage would probably be about $1,200, but they paying $1,900, $2,000 for rent. And the only thing is they ain't apply for a mortgage, or they might even, it's a lot of people that don't even qualify. They don't have a credit score to qualify for a mortgage. And that's just it. You know, they don't have the qualifications to get a mortgage. That don't mean that they can't pay it, which is weird, but it's just they don't qualify for it. But that just is what it is. But it's just, you know, some people, like, again, whatever your current reality is, it's a nightmare to some, it's a dream to others. That's all you got to know. The thing is that when it comes down to this lack of capital, that's most people's problems. Lack of capital. Okay, most people, most businesses, most individuals, that's their problem. They don't have enough capital. It don't mean they ain't smart. It don't mean that, you know, they ain't got some good ideas. You know, they might have a lot to even work with, but they just don't have a lot of capital. They don't have a lot of capital to really really make some serious gains with the things that they got to work with. You know, like for example, I'm looking into doing some prop trading because one of the things that I have an issue with is I don't really have a lot of capital to trade. But you know, when it comes to prop trading, you pay a certain amount of money a month, and you get access to capital from a trading firm, and then whatever you make over that amount that they give you as far as some type of extended basically margin, that's what you keep. So I'm slow to adopt certain things a lot of times because whatever the reason is, but the thing is that if you're able to get capital and you're able to use it what it's supposed to what it was designed to really do, to make a really good impact, you're the best thing you could do with money, with like for example a loan. Let's say you can get a loan for $50,000. The best thing you could do with that is to get that 50 grand, and whatever you do, take that money and turn it into about $200,000, and then you pay off the 50 grand and you do it again, you know what I'm saying, or you get more money. But if you got the concept that you're gonna get some money and then you're gonna go buy some cars, some clothes, some jewelry, trips, this, that, by the time you spend all the money, you're gonna be broke as hell, and you're gonna be you're gonna be in debt now. While the people that you got the money from, you know, they gonna write it off. They gonna try to, you know, recoup whatever they can from you, and they gonna be in their yacht, you know what I'm saying, dealing whatever they dealing with. Probably some young women, you know, that just turned 21. So the thing is this: if you're able to get that capital, man, God bless you. If you're able to use that money to make more money, even better for you. Not everybody is able to get capital, okay? And it's something that I have learned to appreciate. You know, when I was younger, I was thinking just like everybody else. A lot of people think, I get some money, I go get this clothes, get these shoes, get this car, you know, get this and get that. No, I don't think like that now, because I know what it's about. I know most people are pretty much on the edge. This ain't the life we chose. This is the life we was, you know, brought up into, because our parents weren't rich. Our parents weren't rich. You know, I found out that my grandparents was rich when I got older, by the time I got in my late 20s. But by then, he already, you know, he already spent that money. That money, you know, was pretty much already beside him. You know, that was something he did. You know, he made millions while he had his store in the 80s and 90s. After the 90s, that money was gone. He had debts, he had the old taxes and all that type of stuff. But the thing is that my parents per se, okay, they ain't have nothing, man. When they passed away, they didn't have anything other than a car, some token memory items, and that's about it. I didn't expect much, you know, in the first place, and I, you know, it was what it was gonna be for the most part. Now, that being said, you know, while I'm sweating in this car, you know, I don't like bugs. I'd rather roll my window up and not have to deal with bugs and deal with heat. If I turn my car on, my Bluetooth is gonna go into my audio speaker or whatever, and it's gonna throw this video off. But the thing is this: I'm you know, I'm African or whatever, black, whatever. I can take the heat. So the thing is that most people is going to have to deal with trying to scale up. You're gonna have to whatever you take, like I call it, pulling some crumbs and making a crumb, pulling up, getting some crumbs wherever you can and making a crumb cake. I don't care, whatever you got to do to scrap, hustle, whatever, to get some crumbs together and make a crumb cake. Because, you know, basically, you only have what you have. You might be able to talk to some people that's rich or wealthy. They might be able to extend you some money or whatever. I mean, I'm not saying, whatever you able to do to get, you know, some money or whatever within reason, so be it. But most of everybody else is going to have to scale up. If you got some type of trading system, you're gonna have to try to scale that system up. You're gonna have to take that $500 and scale it to 1,000, to 2,000, to 5 to 10, and just keep working that thing up to where you got enough capital to where, you know, basically you got everything you want, you got everything you need for you, yourself, and your family. Okay, and then you gotta, you know, keep growing. And that's what most people are gonna have to do. And it's gonna be harder for some than others. You know, everybody got a different situation. Some people got more, you know, that they can work with than others. Okay. The fact that you know that you got to do that is more important than other people that don't know that they got to do that. Some people live their whole life and it doesn't grasp them that this is a losing game. Just having a job, paying bills, buying stuff, pretending like everything is fine. That's a losing game. You know, a lot of people don't realize that, and by the time they realize it, they just, you know, so used to playing that game. You know, they just, you know, keep playing it till the you know, Lord call them, you know, to the pearly gates or whatever. You knowing that game is a losing game is the first point that you wake your ass up to where you know, okay, this is what I gotta do. I gotta try to get out of debt as fast as I possibly can. I have to, don't worry about all the flashy shit and all of that type of stuff. I got all that shit. I got cars, I got a house, I got whatever, fucking Kanye, Yeezys, I got clothes, watches, all that shit, all that little shit, little, you know, tinkered, little, you know, items and stuff like that. I got the middle class dream, whatever. But that shit ain't no dream. To be middle class, in my opinion, you gotta be a millionaire. If all you gotta do, if you don't believe me, look at the wealth chart. And then look at just common sense. When you learn what you learn in third grade, second grade, you learn the middle, you learn the bottom, you learn the top. If you are comparing yourself if you truly in the middle, you know, every time I turn in the news or watch news articles and shit like that, surf on, or something pop up about Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos just bought 3 other mansions around his mansion, I think in somewhere in Hawaii or California or something. He's worth $100 and something billion. Where in the fuck in the middle with you making your little 100,000, 60,000, 75,000? How in the fuck on God's green earth, in the slow bus heaven or hell, are you in the fucking middle between people like that, and it's quite a few people that's really close neck to neck to him, and then you got people that's got worth, you know, $100 million, $10 million, and a whole bunch of billionaires, over 2,000 billionaires in the U.S. And then you go in the world, is, you know, I don't know how many is in the world, but you ain't nowhere near in the middle of that. And that's how they get you. They get you this perception that you think you in the middle. And then meanwhile, you getting baked and boiled alive and getting eaten alive by debt and liabilities. And the money that you do make, you could be using it to, you know, open up a business, make some money, buy another house, buy some, you know, house and collect rent or make money off Airbnb or something like that. But you're not doing it because you think you good. You in the middle. You middle class. That's some shit they tell you to. They tell you that to program you to make you think that you doing well. That's like a sales tactic. So you can go to college and get a job and pay somebody to make them rich. That's the reality of it. That's the red pill or whatever the fuck. You know, keep you in the matrix, basically. You know, and the thing is that, like I said, if you already have made it there, man, God bless you. But if you, like me, or better or worse, that's trying to get some crumbs to make a crumb cake, man, you know, I wish you the best. And that's what you got to deal with. You got to scale up, and you just got it's an uphill battle. Okay, but I believe you can do it. You know, I believe I can do it. You know, and that's all I got to say. Okay.